Guys, you're watching the Black Scout Midday News Brief, man. This is not legacy media. This is battlefield intel for the real ones. So let's get it. Let me start off first showing this video of President Trump. Yeah, the real one. He showed up to honor a fallen police officer from the Palm Beach incident last year, a man who gave his life in service. And what does the daughter do? After being handed a medal for the father's sacrifice, she runs to TikTok, says she's not a Trump fan, not a Republican, and calls the whole thing or the whole ceremony a political stunt and ends it with Free Palestine. I mean, you can't make this up. Let me show you the clip real quick.
So this is actually my worst nightmare, to go viral, become a meme, whatever. I literally just landed back home and I got a text from my friend that was like, "You're going viral." And I was like, God, no. To cover some points, not a cop, not a Republican. I was there. I received that medal because my dad died line of duty along with 2 other officers alongside him last year in Palm Beach, it was a huge news story. That's also why Trump is so involved, because it was in Palm Beach. And yeah, Free Palestine.
So let me tell you something. Your father died a hero, and you turn this into turn his memory into a woke virtue signal. This is no class, no loyalty, and zero spine. This is the sickness that we're up against. A generation raised on grievances, worshiping hashtags instead of heroes, man. That is what we have here. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You think any of the other presidents in the current history would have done that? Biden, Obama? No. But you want to know why you don't trust the media? Here's why. Let me show you this.
The dramatic scene in the Oval Office today, the tense confrontation, President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
Up next, another Oval Office meltdown. President Trump ambushing the president of South Africa.
President Trump is being accused of conducting something of a diplomatic ambush of South Africa's president in the Oval Office.
To be with you, I'm Katie Tur. President Trump orchestrated another Oval Office ambush today.
Today, Donald Trump meeting with the president of South Africa and attempting to ambush and humiliate that leader.
Zelensky territory, where essentially he was a bit ambushed inside the Oval Office.
Felt like an ambush in there, kind of like the President Zelensky meeting in the Oval Office.
This was an ambush. It was orchestrated.
Cyril Ramaphosa brought his best diplomatic self.
So you have mainstream media anchors parroting the exact same line about Trump ambushing the South African president. It's not journalism. It's not a coincidence. This is Mockingbird media, Project Mockingbird, scripted, controlled, and every outlet reading from the same globalist teleprompter. They're not reporting news. They're reporting your freaking reality. It's a psyop, plain and simple, guys. Plain and simple. Disgusting. Now, speaking of psyops, back in 2023, let's jump to the Epstein stuff for a moment because I'm not going to let it go. Dan Bongino said loud and clear, we can't let the Epstein story die. And he was right. Listen.
That Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
Now, today, He's saying, him and Castro saying Epstein deleted himself. No, Dan, he didn't. And you know he didn't. Don't start by tap dancing now. We remember what you said. This is the thing. I caught a lot of heat last week for this, and I don't give a damn. Truth is worth it, always. And maybe this will help you because Alex Jones goes scorched earth about it as well. And Alex Jones is the guy with fire on his chest. Let me show him going DEFCON 1 on these clowns.
Don't sit there and tell us, oh, we've closed it. He acted alone. We have the files. Don't, if you're going to crap on me or piss on me, don't rub it in and don't tell me it's raining. Okay. Please. Can you not, this is a PR issue. Will you stop it? Kosh and Bongino. I know obviously, Dan, nobody's smarter than you. But if you want to go from being very popular to very unpopular and thus hurt Trump as well, just keep going. Keep going, tough guy.
That is what righteous anger looks like. That's the energy we need because they are lying to us and millions are still asleep inside of the matrix, man. Dan and Cash are saying that Thomas Crooks acted alone. Got ate up by the swamp. All right. Now let's talk about some serious business. Made in China 2025. This is a program that was launched in a master plan, essentially launched in 2015 by the CCP, Made in China 2025. It is the CCP's master plan to replace the U.S. as the global leader in technology and manufacturing by any means necessary. They targeted 10 key industries, including artificial intelligence, aerospace, robotics, advanced rail, biopharma, green tech, quantum computing, military-grade semiconductor, cybersecurity, maritime engineering. And the goal is not just to catch up, but to dominate and to own. It's not about growth. It's about global dependency on Chinese systems, military and economic and digital. How are they doing? How are they doing it? That's the question. Espionage like this Stanford op that I'm about to talk about, IP theft through academic labs and hacked servers, forced tech transfers. Western companies have to hand over tech to access Chinese markets. State-funded industrial monopolies. They drown out competition with subsidized giants. And now it may be a little more clear why Donald Trump wants to bring all of our tech companies. That's why, like today, I saw that he basically jumped into Apple's behind because I think it's Tim Cook is his name, the CEO, basically saying that they move manufacturing to India. He said, no, we want it here in the U.S. because we don't want people controlling it. We don't want that tech being out there. And so this is what they've done. And they want this done by 2025 this year. Okay. So that's the year they go from essentially copycat to kingmaker because China's has been known as basically reverse engineering and making replicas of tech. But today's main subject we're going to talk about is Chinese espionage at Stanford University. This is not a theory, not maybe, but confirmed. This is a covert intelligence operation run by the CCP using fake identities and female targeted manipulation, academic infiltration to gain access to sensitive U.S. research. Okay. So Stanford, not just some no-name junior college, Stanford, we're talking about the academic crown jewel of American tech and defense R&D. And the CCP is already inside the gates. So this, we've been talking about this, the military, them using drones to fly over bases, then buying up farmland. This has been a project, guys. That's why I'm saying, and then there's the last video I did, which you didn't watch because it was heavily shot down. You need to go watch it. But basically, that a lot of this is why they're upset about the Golden Dome. They are truly they want to beat us without having to fire a shot. Now, I think ultimately they will get to that point if they cannot succeed in their goal. Now, let's start off with the ghost of the machine, someone named Charles Chen. This isn't a student. This isn't even their real name. It's an alias, a CCP sock puppet, a fake persona created to target young American researchers, specifically women at Stanford University. What did he do? He messaged students working on China-related research, asked if they spoke Mandarin, invited them to Beijing, offered to cover their flights and expenses, and sent bank account screenshots to show that they had the money to do so. pressured them to move conversations to WeChat, and even references personal details that the other individual had never disclosed. Okay. So that's not social media. That is what you call spycraft in the modern day and age. And when the target pushed back, he told her to only stay in China for 24 to 144 hours to avoid visa detection, and even asked her to delete the chats afterwards. This is a classic MSS playbook. This wasn't random. This was CCP op using social engineering as a weapon. Now, Intel confirmed Charles Chen was likely a cutout for the Chinese Ministry of State Security. That's Beijing's version of CIA, if you didn't know. But without laws, without limits, and without mercy. And guess what? This wasn't just one guy. It was a pattern. We're talking multiple women, multiple profiles, all target female. Stanford students doing research on China or tech fields critical to U.S. defense. This is not a leak. This is a freaking pipeline of spies. I told you before that every Chinese citizen, that they're obligated to conduct espionage for China when called to do so. Now, this is the part that's going to make your blood boil. Stanford knows. Yeah, they knew about it. They received letters from Congress. They've been warned for years. They even took $64 million in Chinese linked funding. $64 million. But instead of speaking out, they shut up. Why? Because they feared racial accusations, academic cowardice, and pressures from CCP sympathizers. Also, fear of losing their sweet Chinese checks. The culture of silence has created an open door policy for espionage. They were complicit. And Stanford is not alone. Don't think they are. Now, let's talk about Chen for a minute. She was a Stanford researcher, Chen Song, funded by the Chinese military, who lied to obtain a U.S. visa. In 2020, she was indicted for hiding ties to the PLA. She sent progress reports on her research back to China. DOJ documents confirm she gave updates on the value of her U.S. research work. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was direct espionage. And instead of cracking down harder, the Biden DOJ shut down that China initiative. Why? Because accusations of racial profiling. Even Asian American Congresswoman Michelle Steele said the racism narrative was weaponized to shut down investigations and protect Beijing. Let me be crystal clear. This has nothing to do about race. This has everything to do with regime loyalty. And when the Asian American Scholars Forum and China Daily condemn investigations in the exact same language, you should probably start connecting the freaking dots. Now, this isn't just one strategy. It's a stacked op. The CCP sends agents under fake student identities, forces their own nationals to report back, like I said, funds departments and professors, monitors online posts for soft targets, and uses WeChat to control comms behind the surveillance wall. They've weaponized our open system, our generosity, and our trust. They're turning Stanford into an intelligence outpost right in front of our faces. According to former FBI Director Christopher Wray, this is one of the largest transfers of wealth in human history, not through war, but through research theft. Now, let's break this down in warfighter terms. The nation that controls the next-gen technology controls the world. AI, biotech, quantum weapon systems. And right now, China is building its empires off the back of American students, labs, and institutions. If they win this tech war or this tech race, we're not just losing jobs, we're losing national dominance, global dominance. And it won't be bullets first, it would be blackouts, bank shutdowns, drone swarms, total collapse from within. And a lot of people are quiet about it. They're going around wrangling up roofers. I saw them go hit a veteran roofer company yesterday and shipping them out. Meanwhile, we have literal Chinese operatives field in this country, and I'm not seeing the first one snatched up yet. So first and foremost, I'd like to see the swamp drain. Second, I would like to see our largest enemies, operatives, removed from the country. not roofers or construction workers. I don't freaking care. I'm not saying that they should be left here either, but we need to prioritize getting Chinese operatives out of this country. Now, you can go look at the PDF here of the Made in 2025. You can read all about it. Man, this is something out on the internet. They don't care that we even know about it. And for some reason, Biden administration, not Joe Biden himself, because he can barely put a sentence together, but they were complicit in all of this. They were pushing towards making China the dominant superpower, right? They don't need to storm the beaches, ladies and gentlemen. They're already on campus, in your research labs, in your phone, on that app called TikTok. They're in your inbox. This is 5th generation war. This is what I've been saying. And you are the target. So what do you do? People always say, what do you do? I say it every time. Stay sharp. Question what's around you. Mainstream media, don't listen to that shit. Question everything. Stay trained. Don't just lift. Prepare. Stay dangerous. Know how to fight mentally and physically. The war's already started. Don't be the last one to notice. I see all these clowns that say clickbait, clickbait. Those are the ones that's too dumb to notice what's going on. Anyway, I just want to finish off with you got to sometimes just reflect on Donald Trump's old tweets. When I was 18, people called me Donald Trump. When he was 18, Barack Obama, he was called Barry Soweto. Weird. Back from March 12, 2012. Hilarious. Anyway, guys, stay sharp, stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous, and stay gray. Go get the Gray Man Protocol. Prepare now. Now is the time to prepare. It's too late. It's too late when you have the blackout. It's too late. Stay gray. Get gray now. Guys, check out the links below. I'm going to put a pinned comment so we can have some dialogue down there. I'll also put the Gray Man Protocol. Make sure you get on that. Start training that today. If you have it in your phone already downloaded, start training that today. Read through it and start training. I've got drills in there for you to practice real world to get that experience, right? Getting the experience now and, being exposed to this type of situation now will save you when everything goes dark. Guys, stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous, my friends.
2, 3. 4, 2.